So just last week, I was able to sign 3 high-ticket clients in one single day. Now, this took me a while to get to this position. I'm not saying that if you don't have a business right now, you could sign 3 clients in one day, but I'm going to show you and walk you through the step-by-step process that we have, and we've been able to build our business to the point where we can actually sign 3 high-ticket clients in one day. So there's a few things in here that you might not know of, and there's a few things that, if you're not able to sign this many clients in one day, that is definitely going to pay off for you for watching this one all the way to the end. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Ben Lister, and I help agency owners to save thousands and thousands of hours by sometimes even doing their outreach for them, so they can start to work on the agency rather than working in the agency. And so the first thing to note is that these calls that we had, the sales calls that we had on Thursday last week, they were not all from the same channel. So a lot of people will tell you, one acquisition channel, one way of selling to these and one way of delivering the service. And that's all well and good, right? But in my opinion and in my experience at least, we have many different acquisition channels, whether we have appointment setters that reach out to people on social media. This YouTube channel, for example, is a way that we can generate business. We have cold emails that go out, and we have a few different systems as well. And the 3 clients that we signed, one of those actually came from each of the channels. So we have 3 different channels there: cold email, social media, and from YouTube. And so it's very important to note here is that when you're just starting out, you probably don't have the capacity and at least the bandwidth to expand into 3 channels straight away. If you are starting out right away, I would just recommend one, just do some cold emails or just post on YouTube, for example. I wouldn't recommend actually going and having all these different channels, especially when you're just starting out. And before you actually select which channel that you're going to use to reach out to people, the first thing that you need, of course, is an offer. Now, this offer needs to be a complete no-brainer. So we have an offer right now that is a no-brainer. There is zero downside for our clients coming on board. If things don't go right, they basically don't have any downside. And if they do go right, then they're going to get lots and lots of rewards from that, plenty of money, and they're going to save time, and they're going to be able to grow their business. If you still have an offer right now, especially if you are new to this and you haven't signed too many clients, where you are giving the client some amount of risk, especially if you don't have too many testimonials, you don't have loads of reviews to lean on, not only will this make it difficult for you to actually book the appointments in the first place to get people on the phone, but it will also make it difficult for you to actually then get someone to agree to buy from you on the sales call once you are on the phone with them and you're selling to them. So the offer is kind of like the main point of the business. I honestly think that a good offer can basically take you from 0 to 20, 30K in a very short amount of time. It's kind of the one thing that really matters, where if you take a business that does, 5K a month and their offer isn't very good, you give them a good offer, they are literally going to explode, triple, quadruple the amount of revenue they generate in just one single month. They can actually handle that capacity. A great thing to do if you are just starting out, and even if you're not just starting out, even if you actually are quite well established, it's still a good thing to do, is to offer a pay per result approach. So if you offer leads, if you offer appointments, if you offer, whatever it is you're offering, if you're, a content service and you offer subscribers and something like that, only charge every time that someone actually gets that result. What this means is there's very little downside for the client. And it also means is that you are going to get paid on your performance. And so if the results are bad, for example, not only does it mean that you don't get paid for it, right? But obviously your reputation isn't going to be too harmed, because of course, you can have situations where the client has paid you lots of money and you haven't actually given them the result that you wanted. But it also means, for example, that if you do really well and you generate tons of leads or tons of appointments or whatever it is that you are actually charging each time, and you go above the expectations, then you can make a lot of money from this. And the clients don't mind paying that, of course, because they've actually agreed to it, and they're going to get the rewards from this. If you're giving them a certain amount of appointments and you give them more appointments than they're expecting, they have to pay more, of course, but it also means that they can generate more money. So in the long run, a lot of clients don't mind with this, and they'd actually prefer it sometimes if you would get them more results, and so they can actually pay you more. The next thing that we do with all of our calls is we actually nurture those calls before they actually first jump onto the sales call. So we have systems in place that, of course, gives them reminders, and sometimes we give them a phone call and stuff like that, just to basically say, hey, I'm looking forward to the call. This helps with this short rate. But we also send them some kind of pre-recorded material, whether this is a Loom, whether this is, some kind of media that basically says, hey, looking forward to the call. Here are some results from previous clients that we've had, some testimonials, some reviews, and the reviews and testimonials that we have are very good. So I'm very confident to send that out to the clients that we have or the prospects that we have that are coming onto the call with us. And so once they actually jump on the call, first of all, they know that we're not, newbies. They know that we've been about for a while, and they also know that the results that we get are very good. And so this gives them some kind of confidence in you. It helps to warm those clients up. And so many times I've jumped on a call, for example, and there's people that are literally just, you can go through the sales process, of course, and you should never skip questions and, speed through that process. But what you can do is you can have clients that are in there that are basically just ready to pay. And it's such a rewarding feeling when you have something like that, because you know that all your work's been done before you've done it yourself. You've done the lead nurturing way before the call actually started. And so now this client is in a position to pay. And a couple of those that we had last week were actually in that position. And, it's a real breath of fresh air when we get to that point. And then the last thing, and arguably the most important thing, is the sales skills. So sales is something that I've been working on for a long time now, but I've really been taking it up this last 12 months where I've been, focusing on it, not exclusively because I've been focusing on a lot of stuff, but it's probably the one skill that I've focused on the most. And the main pillars that I have right now that I've really been focusing on is making sure that I diagnose the problem before actually closing. So actually understanding what is going on, what they're looking for. Many times, for example, if we are offering, appointments, someone can say that they can actually generate the appointments for themselves, but they don't want to. They want to pay someone to do it. They want to have some kind of guarantee in place, or maybe they don't have the time to do it. And so the way that you pitch them and the objections and all that kind of stuff the way that you speak to them is just completely different, than if someone turns around to you and says, I've been trying for ages, I just can't book any appointments, I don't know how to do it. Now you're dealing with someone who actually, they want some expertise. Whereas sometimes you can deal with people who have that expertise, but they don't have the time, they don't have the resources, they just want someone to do it for them and have that guarantee in place. And so understanding that, being able to diagnose what the problem is first before then going on to close them, this helps an awful lot. Because you shouldn't pitch to everyone in the same way. You shouldn't close everyone in the same way. Everyone has different needs. The next thing I've been focusing on a lot in terms of sales is actually understanding the prospect. So when someone gives some kind of pain point or, some kind of thing that they're struggling with, instead of just moving on to the next question, have some understanding there. And basically, because I work with agency owners and, I have been an agency owner for quite a while, I know a lot of the pain points that can come up, and I can empathize with that, and I can basically give my take on this and basically say, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was struggling with this before, I know how it feels, we've done this before. And that kind of understanding makes people feel really heard, and it makes the prospect understand that you know what you're talking about, right? It makes the prospect know that you're a bit of an expert, you've obviously been through this yourself before. And so having that there gives them a bit of confidence as well, that you can actually be the person to solve the issue that they have. And so having this understanding, empathizing with the prospect, it just means it goes that extra bit to actually go and give them that confidence, and so they can actually agree for you to solve their problems. And the last thing in sales is to have overwhelming confidence. Now, this is something which I definitely have been working on a lot, and it really is in the way that you speak and the way that you present yourselves. And when I listen to my calls back, I kind of sound a little bit crazy sometimes, but I just know that it works very well. And because when you have that kind of confidence in your service, and obviously your confidence will grow in your service as you get better results and you get better testimonials and stuff like that. Once you have those, then it's kind of like you can go crazy on your calls. When I have people on my calls and I tell them, look, there is no way that this is going to fail. I've seen this done a million times. I'm so glad that you booked this call, because I know that we can help you, and I'm grateful and blessed that I get the chance to do this for you, and I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be the best thing ever. When you have that kind of confidence, and and there's just no doubt in your voice at all, and just know that they come on board, you're going to crush it for them. It becomes easy at that point, right? You don't have to think about it too much. You can literally just go and speak your mind, but you need to be enthusiastic. You need to just basically always bring it back to the pain points that they have, always bring it back to the fact that you can actually deliver on the service, and you have incredible confidence. And this is something that I've been focusing on a lot recently, and it's working incredibly well. And so that is basically how I signed 3 clients in one single day. And so if you are looking for someone to book appointments for you and for sign clients for you, then go ahead and click the first link in the description. We're not asking for your email, your phone number, nothing like that. There's no super long VSL, I promise you. It's literally just a video of me explaining how we do this on a done for you basis. But if you did enjoy the video, then click the like button, of course, and comment if you want me to cover anything specifically, and subscribe if you want to see more. Appreciate you watching this one to the end. Cheers.